Good evening. Welcome to week 9 of the Thongsbridge quiz. Can you believe 9 weeks we've all been taking part in this? I can't quite believe it myself. But slowly and surely things are looking as though we can start to see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel and getting back to a bit of normality. Following Boris's positive announcement yesterday regards to being able to see sort of 6 members outside of your household group meeting up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to meeting a few family and friends as of Monday. And what a week it's been in terms of the weather. I've never known sort of such a prolonged nice period. Sort of the last time maybe 2018, maybe when the summer was brilliant, and it's been amazing this week. I know there's plenty of teachers out there who will have hopefully been enjoying a little bit of time off during half term. We have been working, contrary to the reports that people probably think that we're not working. But yeah, certainly enjoyed the sunshine in the garden this week. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that may be being dragged in from the gardens and a barbecue this evening. So thank you for joining and resisting the temptation to stay outside, although some of you may be doing the quiz outside, which is an even better idea. I had thought myself of doing the quiz outside this evening, but decided to keep it nice and simple and do it in here and stick to the formality. But yeah, I do appreciate you joining. I do appreciate your support. So thank you so much. I do expect numbers to be a little bit lower due to the such nice weather this evening, but numbers are slowly growing on YouTube and Facebook, so thank you very much. Last week was a really close contest. I think it was a joint win for a couple of teams last week. The lads from the first and the second team, interestingly named Jason Boyd's Barmy Army, were joint winners with the France family, Paul and Heidi. So well done to you both last week. Hopefully you'll be on form again this week, looking to retain your weekly title. The 100 Club has absolutely taken off this week, and a massive thank you to every single person that has bought a ticket for the first draw this evening. We've actually gone well above 100. I think we're currently standing on about 113, 114 tickets bought for the first draw tonight. So a massive thank you. Usually when we do these 100 clubs down at the club, we're absolutely scraping the barrel to get 100 numbers bought. And we normally peak at about sort of 70 or 80 numbers. So to have well over 100 numbers bought is a really great achievement, and that's massively down to everyone that's bought a ticket and maybe bought more than one. So thank you so much. I'm going to give you a bit more information about the 100 Club a little bit later on, but essentially we're going to put a time limit on when you can buy your last minute ticket. So if you do want to buy a ticket and you haven't already done so, or you've got one but you fancy buying another one at last minute, you've got until the end of round 2 this evening. So it's a picture round. So at the end of round 2, which is a picture round, that'll be the cut-off point. We'll then collate all the numbers and entries together. We'll give you a random number, and your numbers will be posted on the screen and also on the website for you to be able to see. Due to the fact that we've gone over 100, Andrew Wagstaff's retro 90s bingo ball machine, which I thought I had in here somewhere, which is here. This little beauty is unfortunately has been made redundant, as it only accounts for 100 numbers. So we will be using, or I'll be using, a slightly more modern and 21st century way of drawing numbers through just an online random number generator, which you'll be able to see on the screen. And if we make up to 125 numbers this evening, there will be a first prize of £100, which will be sort of the same every week. And if we do make it up to 125 numbers, there'll be a second prize of £25. So there's an incentive there to get sort of those numbers bought, to sort of bulk the numbers up to 125, and then you've got a slightly increased chance of taking home some money this evening. All the details are on the website. I'll try and post the link in the comments as well. But essentially, if you go on our Facebook or YouTube or our website, thongsbridge.cricketclub.co.uk, all the information is on there, and you're able to buy a first ticket if you haven't already bought one, or maybe a second ticket or third ticket if you really fancy it, for the first draw this evening, which will happen straight after the last round. There have been some early discussions that after the fifth draw, which is in 5 weeks' time, which is the 26th of June, which incidentally is my fiancée Lauren's birthday, I'll have to do some sweet talking and earn some brownie points for her to allow me to do the quiz on that Friday night. That will possibly be the last quiz that we do of the lockdown. We will monitor the situation with lockdown and the demand for the quiz and the numbers each week. But at the minute, it's looking like the 26th of June, so the end of June will be the last quiz that I run. So yeah, 4 or 5 weeks to go. Right, shout outs. Numbers are slowly growing, which is good. Andrew Wagstaff, good evening. Again, thank you for your machine, Andrew. I would have loved to use it, but unfortunately not enough bingo numbers. John Powell, a regular. Thanks for joining again, John. Joe Reeves, Matt Wagstaff, Sarah Power, Andrew Ravenhill, David, Joel Ward, Phil Warren, Dillian, Baron, Bazza, good evening. Not as many people commenting on YouTube this evening, just a couple. But yeah, thank you for joining. We will be starting, it's a bit later than normal, we'll start in a couple of minutes. 5 rounds again this evening. 3 of them I'll read as normal, and 2 of them I shall will be on the PowerPoint screen. So let's have a look. First round is general knowledge. 12 questions as normal. What I'm going to do is just have a really 1 minute break just to let you top up your drinks, Nitsaloo if you need to, and then we shall make a start. So just back in 1 minute, get what you need to get your pens and paper ready, and we'll make a start. Right, I think we're good to go. So just a quick reminder again before we start. 100 Club first draw tonight after the final round. Get on the website to buy some tickets if you haven't already done so. You've got till the end of round 2 to buy a ticket. Right, I reckon we get going. 34 on Facebook and 60 on YouTube, roughly the similar numbers as to what it normally is. So let's make a start. First round, general knowledge. 12 questions. Question number 1. Let's go. In which ocean is the Bermuda Triangle region located? So in which ocean is the Bermuda Triangle region located? Question number 2. Which branch of medicine deals with the treatment of children? Which branch of medicine deals with the treatment of children? Question number 3. The world's longest straight road without any corners is located in which country? Is it Saudi Arabia or the USA? So the world's longest straight road without any corners, I guess it wouldn't be straight if it did have corners, so yeah. The world's longest straight road without any corners is located in which country? Is it Saudi Arabia or the United States of America? Question 4. Which living creature has 32 brains and 5 pairs of eyes? Which living creature has 32 brains and 5 pairs of eyes? Question 5. In the Roald Dahl book, what do the letters BFG stand for? So in the Roald Dahl book, what do the letters BFG stand for? Question 6. Where does Gavin's family live in Gavin and Stacey? So where does Gavin's family live in Gavin and Stacey? You'll get 2 marks if you get the town, 1 mark if you just get the county that they live in. So where does Gavin's family live in Gavin and Stacey? Question 7. What name is given to a boat that has 2 hulls? So what name is given to a boat that has 2 hulls? Question 8. The characters Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard appear in the standard British version of which board game? So the characters Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard appear in the standard British version of which board game? Question 9. In which hemisphere is the Tropic of Capricorn? In which hemisphere is the Tropic of Capricorn? Question 10. Which sauce is generally served with roast lamb? Which sauce is generally served with roast lamb? Question 11. Which animal represents a zoo on an Ordnance Survey map? Which animal represents a zoo on an Ordnance Survey map? And the final question, question 12. In the book and film, The Polar Express, what transports the characters to the North Pole? So in the book and film, The Polar Express, what transports the characters to the North Pole? Okay, so I'll just whiz through those questions for anyone that joined a bit late. I saw a couple of people joined a little bit sort of halfway through that round. So question 1, in which ocean is the Bermuda Triangle region located? Question 2, which branch of medicine deals with the treatment of children? Question 3, the world's longest straight road without any corners is located in which country? Is it Saudi Arabia or the USA? Question 4, which living creature has 32 brains and 5 pairs of eyes? 5, in the Roald Dahl book, what do the letters BFG stand for? Question 6, where does Gavin's family live in Gavin and Stacey? Again, you get 2 points for the town, 1 point just for the county, if that's all you can think of. Question 7, what name is given to a boat that has 2 hulls? Question 8, the characters Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard appear in which standard British board game? Question 9, in which hemisphere is the Tropic of Capricorn? Question 10, which sauce is generally served with roast lamb? Question 11, which animal represents a zoo on an Ordnance Survey map? And the last question, in the book and film The Polar Express, what transports the characters to the North Pole? So I'll just give you another 10 seconds. So a couple of team names coming in. Jason Boyd's team name is Team Fat Score, which is Wagstaff backward, I see. I believe the lads are playing again this evening. They are Jason Boyd's Barmy Army, I think. We've had Ian Edwards join, Lauren Ravenhill, good evening. Okay, answers, let's mark those. So, question 1, in which ocean is the Bermuda Triangle region located? The answer to that is the Atlantic Ocean. Question 2, which branch of medicine deals with the treatment of children? It is paediatrics. Paediatrics. Question 3. The world's longest straight road is located in which country? That is Saudi Arabia. I don't know the name, and I don't know exactly whereabouts it is, but it's in Saudi. Question 4. Which living creature has 32 brains and 5 pairs of eyes? My uncle gave me this question this week, and I had no idea. It's a leech. A leech also has, I think it's something like 3,000 teeth, or maybe 1,000 teeth, and 18 testicles. Fabulous creature. So a leech. Question 5. In the Roald Dahl book, what do the letters BFG stand for? It is Big Friendly Giant. Question 6. Where does Gavin's family live in Gavin and Stacey? You had 2 options for the answer here. You'll get 1 point if you put Essex, and you'll get 2 points if you put the town, which is Billericay. If you got both, you still only get 2. You don't get 3. So Billericay is your top answer, worth 2 points. If you just got Essex, 1 point. What name, question 7, what name is given to a boat that has 2 hulls? That is a catamaran. Question 8, the characters Mrs. White and Colonel Mustard appear in the board game Cluedo. Personal favourite of mine. Love a game of Cluedo. Question 9, in which hemisphere is the Tropic of Capricorn? It is the southern hemisphere. Question 10, which sauce is generally served with lamb? It is mint sauce. 11, which animal represents a zoo on an Ordnance Survey map? It is an elephant. And 12, in the book and film The Polar Express, what transports the characters to the North Pole? It's a steam train. I'll give you the answer or the mark if you just put train. So let's have your team names and your scores out of 13, please, for that first round. And we'll see how we're getting on. So, Nick and Will, you've joined a bit late, but you're more than welcome to carry on. You've missed the first round, but still 4 rounds to go. Right, let's see. At the minute, I can't see any comments on Facebook. Let me just see if I need to close it down. I have like 4 devices going at once to be able to do this. I had my mate's Mac videoing me the stream. I have my laptop from the computer, and I have my iPad for the comments. But for some reason, I can't see the comments. Maybe that's just my laptop. Oh no, they're coming through now. There we go. A little bit slow. So, Kieran O'Shea got the runs, 10 out of 13. Joanne Powell, 11. Tony Roberry's 10 for the biddies not on tour. Leo, 10 out of 13. Thirstyland. Team Willow, 11. Caroline Bamforth, good evening, Caroline. Quiz Tarrant, 12 out of 13, strong start. Kieran Buckley, 11 out of 13. Dan the Mods, 10 out of 13. Strong start, good effort. Right, we're now going to move on to the picture round, which is on the PowerPoint. I'll just transfer across that now. Off we slip. Okay, I think it's worth me just reminding you now that at the end of this round will be the final cut-off point for the 100 Club. Even sort of during the first round, I think we're now up to 116 numbers, so we're inching closer to the 125 target that we've set ourselves. If we do reach 125, that means that there's £100 for the first prize and 25 for the second prize. And this will be the first draw tonight, straight after the final round. And you'll find out your number just before the draw, basically. So we'll put together all the entries. We'll give you a random number between 1 and 125, hopefully, fingers crossed. and you will find out your number so you can look out for it when the draw is made at the end of this evening. So get on the website, get your tickets bought, persuade your family members to buy one if you want to. We massively appreciate all your support. £10 gets you a weekly raffle ticket into the 5 draws over the next 5 weeks, so you're essentially paying £2 a week. So last reminder, end of this round will be the cut-off point. So picture round this week is, I've done this a long time ago. It might have been last season down at the club, and I quite like it. It's something a little bit not usually done before. So the picture round this week is famous landmarks from space, or from an aerial view, essentially. So you'll see a load of landmarks. There's 12 of them, and you've got to work out what they are as if you were looking at them directly above. Try and get as many as you can. These are the 12 when it decides to come on. I'm hoping I've not pressed it twice and you're going to see the answers here. I'm praying that it doesn't do that. It's a little bit slow to react. There we are. So that is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, 11, number 12. So 10 minutes, off you go. You might not need 10 minutes, so feel free to comment when you're done. Famous landmarks from above. That's annoying that it's making noise. Let me turn that down. There. If you're interested and want to know the link for the 100 Club is now on the Facebook comments. Just click on that and it'll take you direct to the page. There is just over 6 minutes left. Just under 5 minutes to go. Let me know in the comments when you've finished. Ian Edwards is done. Yeah, a few more people saying they're finished, which is great. Just let me give a few more people a couple more minutes, and then we'll put an end to this round. We're up to 118 numbers, so last few minutes by the end of the answers to get your tickets bought. Let's try and get up to 125. So 7 more to go. Just under a minute and a half left. 1.5 minutes. Okay, time up. Okay, answers. Hopefully you managed to work out the majority of those 12. There was a couple in there that were deliberately a little bit more tricky, but I think, or I'm expecting, certainly some teams to possibly get 12 out of 12. Sort of quite high marks I'm expecting out of this round. So, famous landmarks from space. Answers. So again, just to confirm, sort of 1 to 4 along the top, 5 to 8, and then 9 to 12 along the bottom. Answers then. Mark your own. There are the answers. So number 1, top left, was Lord's Cricket Ground. Question 2, the Taj Mahal. Number 3 was the Eiffel Tower. Question 4, Grand Canyon. 5 were the White Cliffs of Dover. Question 6, Statue of Liberty. 7 is Mount Rushmore National Memorial. If you put Mount Rushmore, it's fine. Number 8 was Buckingham Palace. Number 9 was the O2 Arena in London. 10 was the Sydney Opera House. 11 was the White House in Washington. And the last one was Wembley Stadium. So, total up your marks and the answers of the 2 rounds, please. So it'll be out of 25. I think the slightly more difficult ones there were possibly the Grand Canyon, maybe Mount Rushmore. Penny Woodhead, a consistent quizzer, 12 out of 12, well done. David Wagstaff, Dayoub Nosage, Jason Boyd backwards, 12 out of 12. Bob Spencer, 24 out of 25. Professor Quizwitty, Janet Clapham, good evening to you, Janet, 22 out of 25. Mandy's Lockdown Birthday Team, happy birthday, Mandy, 11 out of 12. Quiz Camara, very good, 12 out of 12. Middle Leg, 25 out of 25, very good. Mark Tink Taylor. Leo, 11 out of 12. Tony, 11 out of 12. Matthew Chilton, Tony Robury Tribute Team, 12 out of 12. Excellent. Right, so that is the end of the picture rounds. And at the minute, we're up to 119 numbers. So we're just going to allow for a little bit of leeway of time of those numbers and payments possibly coming through. So by the end of sort of the 4th and the final round, I will have a list of your numbers so that you can see which is your number, so that you're looking out for it when the quiz begins. The draw begins. So 2 rounds done. Let's have a really quick 1 minute break. Just nip to the loo, get your glasses topped up. We'll just allow for those payments to come through if they are doing. And we'll begin to get some of the numbers allocated behind the scenes, and you will be able to find those out a little bit later on. So fill your drinks up, be back in 1 minute. Right, we're back. Apologies about the dog. Quick nip out to the loo for the dog, and she's begging for a treat. Right, so round 3 then. Round 3 is a music round. Obviously, a music round, like I've mentioned before, is quite hard to plan, really, because I can't do a traditional music round of just playing songs through the stream, because YouTube will kick off for copywriting issues, and to then try and think about writing music questions again is quite difficult, because there's such a sort of wide range of people's ages that are playing, so it's quite tricky to accommodate everyone from sort of, I want to be careful here, but sort of from the 1950s maybe upwards, up to sort of the more younger people playing sort of the 2010s. But I've got to add a go this evening, so I've tried to make them sort of as wide range so everyone's got a chance of answering at least a few of them. I think it was Heidi, last week's winner, who requested a music round, but we haven't had one for a few weeks, so I thought, why not? So Heidi, this is for you. Music round then. Question number 1. Who achieved a UK #1 hit in 1965 with It's Not Unusual? So who achieved a UK #1 hit in 1965 with It's Not Unusual? Question 2. Which recent former boy band became the first to have their first 4 albums to debut at #1 in the US charts? So which recent former boy band became the first to have their first 4 albums to debut at #1 in the US charts? Question number 3. What joins earth and wind to make up a group's name? So what joins earth and wind to make up a group's name? Question 4. Who had a hit with the following album, Dock of the Bay, in 1968? So who had a hit with the following album, Dock of the Bay, in 1968? Question 5. Where is the Love was a #1 for which group? Where is the Love was a #1 for which group? Question 6. Who recorded the 2010 #1 Firework? So who recorded the 2010 hit which was at #1 called Firework? Question 7. What type of shoes did Elvis warn you not to step on in 1956? What type of shoes did Elvis warn you not to step on in 1956? Question 8. Sound of the Underground was the first #1 for which girls group? So Sound of the Underground was the first #1 for which girls group? Question 9. Which English sir has had #1s in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s? So which English sir has had #1s in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s? Question 10. Who is the current BBC Radio 1 breakfast show presenter? So who is the current BBC Radio 1 breakfast show presenter? Question 11. Which album released in 2015 became the fastest selling UK album of all time? So which album released in 2015 became the fastest selling album of all time? A bonus point if you can give me the name of the artist. So the name of the album for one and the name of the artist for the second mark. And the last question of the music rounds: in which UK seaside town did ABBA win the Eurovision Song Contest with their song Waterloo? And that was in 1974. So in which UK seaside town did ABBA win the Eurovision Song Contest with their song Waterloo in 1974? Okay, I'll just read out those questions again. So number one, who achieved a UK number one hit in 1965 with It's Not Unusual? Question two, which recent former boy band became the first to have their first 4 albums to debut at number one in the US charts? Question three, what joins Earth and Wind to form a group's name? Question 4, who had a hit with the following album, Dock of the Bay, in 1968? Question 5, Where is the Love was a number one hit for which group? Question 6, who recorded the 2010 number one called Firework? Question 7, what type of shoes did Elvis Presley warn you not to step on in 1956? Question 8, Sound of the Underground was the first number one for which girls group? Question 9, which English sir has had number ones in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s? 10, who is the current BBC Radio 1 breakfast show presenter? Question 11, which album released in 2015 became the fastest selling UK album of all time? A point for the name of the album and a point extra if you get the artist. Bit of a clue there. Question 12, in which UK seaside town did ABBA win the Eurovision Song Contest with their song Waterloo in 1974? Okay, I'll just give you another minute or so to finalise your answers. Okay, so answers then. Number 1, who achieved a UK number one hit in 1965 with It's Not Unusual? It is Tom Jones. Question 2, which recent former boy band became the first to have their first 4 albums debut at number one in the US? That was One Direction. Question 3, what joins Earth and Wind in a group's to form a group's name? That'll be Fire, so Earth, Wind and Fire. Question 4, who had a hit with the following album, Dock of the Bay, in 1968? Was Otis Redding. Where is the Love was a UK and a US number one for which group? It was the Black Eyed Peas. Question 6, who recorded the 2010 hit Firework? It was Katy Perry. Question 7. Which type of shoes did Elvis warn you not to step on in 1956? It was blue suede. Blue suede shoes. Question 8. Sound of the Underground was the first number 1 for which group? It was Girls Aloud. Number 9. Which English sir has had number 1s in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s? It was Sir Cliff Richard. Question 10. Who is the current BBC Radio 1 breakfast show presenter? That was Greg James. It used to be Nick Grimshaw. Greg James took over sort of last year or so. I think he's been doing the job over a year now. Question 11. 2 points on offer for this. Which album released in 2015 became the fastest selling UK album of all time? The album was called 25 and it was by Adele. So 1 mark if you got 25, 2nd mark if you got Adele. If you just put Adele, you can have a mark. And the last question, question 12. In which UK seaside town did ABBA win the Eurovision Song Contest with Waterloo in 1974? It was Brighton. So, answers out of 13 for that round, please. Answers out of 13. So how have we done on that round? Put your scores in. David Wagstaff, Jason Boyd, backward, 10 out of 13, good effort. 10 out of 13. Any more on YouTube? So Leo's gone for, he's 32 out of 38 so far. Walton Mountain, 12 out of 13, well done. Really good. Kieran Buckley, 13 out of 13. Good, I thought the music round was going to be quite hard, but I'm glad that people are getting some quite high scores. 12 out of 13 for Penny, 35 out of 38. Quiz Tarrant, 34 out of 38. Bob Spencer, 33 out of 38. Tony Roby, 11 out of 13. Team Flag Score, 13 out of 13. Good. I'm glad that people are getting some high scores. I was nervous about doing a music round, as they always seem to be a bit demoralising if you don't know any of the questions sort of from previous eras. So well done. Amy Handley, Amy Steen Sol, 13 out of 13. Really good. Right, moving on. Next round is going to be a favourite with a couple of our lads from the first and second team. But a bit of good news, we've hit the 125 mark for the 100 Club. So thank you very much. Really, really impressive. So there will be a £100 first winner prize this evening, and there will be a second prize of £25 this evening, and it will be the same prizes every week for the next 5 weeks. I'll bring up the list of numbers a little bit later on, but it is on the website now if you want to have a look during this next round. But if you want to wait, I'll post the numbers on the screen after the next round. Okay, so the next round is a round back on the PowerPoint, so I'll just flick over to this. And I don't know if a couple of the lads are watching this evening, but the round this evening is called Name That Snack. Now, I'm expecting Richard Marshall, if he's watching. I don't think he is. He will get full marks on if he was, and I know that Joe Elwood has just joined, so he will hopefully get full marks on this round. No doubt he'll probably be eating some of the snacks that are going to be on show in a second. Some of these questions are a picture, and then some of them are just sort of questions that I'll read out to you. And you have just got to name the snack, essentially. So pretty straightforward. So I think there are 10 questions in this round. So 10 questions. First one. Before being smashed into pieces, what were these? So before being smashed into pieces, what were these? Question 2. What flavour hula hoops are these? Just before anyone starts to comment, I've not personally had to taste any of these food or break any of them up or cut them in half, as you might see soon. They are pictures from the internet. They're not my snacks. Question 3. What chocolate bar is this a cross-section of? Question 4. What crisps have been sat on here? If you look closely, those that have had these before will be able to tell. Wow, that was a brush. Nothing to panic about. Question 5. What are these? And question 6 is now going on to some written questions. Apologies, I'm just shoving my cat outside. Question 6 is this. The numbers are wrong. Sorry, that should say question 6, so apologies. Question 6. A milk chocolate bar interspersed with bubbles of air. Which chocolate bar is that? Question 2. A solid chocolate bar famous for a glass and a half of milk. That's question 7. Apologies, the numbers are wrong. Question 8. A thick chocolate bar with a distinctive and slightly controversial slogan. Which chocolate bar is that? The majority of these are chocolate related, catering for the majority of the first team who love a good chocolate bar during the drinks break, and tea break rather, more than one for Tom Ravenhill. Next question. A nougat, peanut and caramel chocolate centre. A biscuit, often used for dipping in tea, but criticised for debris it leaves behind. Next question. A chocolate double helix structure filled with caramel. Next one. A round chocolate covered biscuit with a marshmallow filling. I think there are 3 more actually. Yes, there are. Puffed rice covered in toffee and encased in chocolate. Name the chocolate bar. A milk-covered biscuit filled with a chocolate cream. And the last one, 2 fingers of chocolate with 3 layers of wafer, often joined together. So those are I think there's 14 there. I think there was 4 pictures and then 10 questions, so it's out of 14. I'll quickly whiz back through them for you so that you can see. So question 1, before being smashed into pieces, what were these? 2, what flavour hula hoops are these? 3, what chocolate bar is this the cross section of? 4, what crisps have been sat on here? 5, what are these? So this is question 6, a milk chocolate bar interspersed with bubbles of air. 7, a solid chocolate bar famous for a glass and a half of milk. 8, a thick chocolate bar with a distinctive or controversial slogan. 'A nougat, peanut and caramel chocolate centre. 'A biscuit often used for dipping in tea but criticised for debris it leaves behind. 'A chocolate double helix structure filled with caramel. 'A round chocolate covered biscuits with a marshmallow filling. 'Puffed rice covered in toffee, encased in chocolate. 'Milk covered biscuit filled with chocolate cream. And the last one, 2 fingers of chocolate with 3 layers of wafer, often joined together. So let's go through the answers of those. Question 1 was, what were these smashed into? I'll just delay just a second, so just to make sure you've finished your answers, probably a bit quick that. Making sure that there's no comments on YouTube. So let's go. That's loud. Never. Right, so these were smashed into Smarties. Not had a bag of Smarties or a tube of Smarties in years. Pretty good sweet, to be fair. Or chocolate, rather. Question 2. I reckon quite a few people have got this just by looking closely at sort of the speckles on the hula hoops. What flavour are these? These are beef flavoured hula hoops. How do I get rid of this stupid thing in the corner? Get back. Ooh, nightmare. Sorry. Technical glitch. Get back. What do I do here? Apologies about the technical glitch. Sorry. I should never have clicked on it, should I? Hang on a second. I guess I was due a technical hitch now and again. Get going, come on. Right, back in the game. Let's move through. Apologies about that. So beef, twirl. What chocolate bar is this a cross section of? A twirl. Next one. What crisps has been sat on here? Walker's Squares. That was number 4. Number 5. What are these? Again, a personal favourite. Question 6. A milk chocolate bar interspersed with bubbles of air is an aero. Question 7. A solid chocolate bar famous for a glass and a half of milk was Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Question 3. A thick chocolate bar with a distinctive or controversial slogan is a Yorkie bar. I'm going to ignore that update. Do not restart on me. Question 9. A nougat, peanut and caramel chocolate centre, Tom Ravenell's favourite, a Snickers. Question 10. A biscuit often used for dipping in tea but criticised for debris it leaves behind is a digestive. Uh, 11. A chocolate bar double helix structure filled with caramel. Could have caught some people out. This is a curly whirly. Question 11, sorry. A round chocolate covered biscuits with a marshmallow filling is a wagon wheel. Puffed rice covered in toffee and encased in chocolate. Question 12 is a toffee crisp. That is, would you believe, an Alex Kemp favourite. Often seen to be buying one of those in the clubhouse after the game and sometimes before the game as well, actually. 13. Milk covered biscuit filled with a chocolate cream, a penguin. One of the more tough ones. Yeah, the Valenta Shore Penthouse. Rich tea, one dips. Absolutely. Last question, 14. 2 things of chocolate with 3 layers of wafer often joined together is a Kit Kat. So, can you post your scores out of 15 for that round? Apologies, 15. 5 pictures, 10 questions, 15 in total. And I'm getting off this before there's another glitch. Back to the comfort zone. So scores out of 15. We could do with a bit of light in here. It's getting a bit dark. Right, let's go for scores out of 15. Leo Corley, 13. Penny Woodhead, 14 out of 15. She's on 49 so far. Tony Robry against the consumption of chocolate in the clubhouse, with him being the coach. Plenty of people who sneak him into their pockets, Tony, don't you worry. Myself included. Who else have we got? Kieran Buckley, 47 total so far. Very good. 12 out of 15. Quiz Tyrant, 46 out of 53 so far. Quiz Kamara, 14 out of 15. The Valencian Shore Penthouse, 10 out of 15. Jason Boyd, we know who you are. The Wagstaffs are forming a nice bond with Jason Boyd. Eton Mess, Phil Clark. He says he got 14. Glad I didn't know many. Why we are slim. Why we ain't slim. David Wagstaff, Jason Boyd back was 14 out of 15. I'd be interested to know Joseph Elwood's score if he's in the comments this evening. I would suspect 15 out of 15. Andrew Wagstaff got 1 more than Jason. He got 11. Lucy Rhodes, 45 out of 53. So I think at the minute the highest score is Penny Woodhead. Again, another previous winner. 49. Yeah, Dan, it could well have been hobnobs, but no, digestive was the answer. Hobnobs do definitely leave a large amount of crumbs. Right, final round. Just a reminder, don't shoot off after the end of these answers because we've got the quiz, we've got the draw, coming live. You'll be able to see it on your screen. And after this round, I will show you the numbers for everyone. We've put those together. Just a massive thank you to Richard Wagstaff for working behind the scenes, collating all the payments and putting the list together. So thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate your help. The last round tonight, 12 questions. As always, we must have a sport round. So the last round is sport. Let's go. So, number 1 for sport. Why was 3 years ago today a significant moment in Huddersfield Town's history? So, why was 3 years ago today a significant moment in Huddersfield Town's history? Question 2. In cricket, how many runs are scored in a maiden over? So in cricket, how many runs are scored in a maiden over? Question 3. It was announced this week that football will return in England, but on which exact date will the Premier League restart following the coronavirus? So it was announced this week that football will return in England, but on which exact date will the Premier League restart after coronavirus? Question 4. Which was the first race course equipped with a photo finish camera? Was it Aintree, Ascot or Epsom? So which was the first race course to be equipped with a photo finish camera? Was it Aintree, Ascot or Epsom? Question 5. Which British rider won his third Tour de France title in 2016? Question 6. Phil the Power Taylor has had a long-standing darts rivalry with which Dutch player known as Barney? So Phil the Power Taylor has had a long-standing darts rivalry with which Dutch player known as Barney? Question 7. How many innings is a full baseball game played over? So how many innings is a full baseball game played over? Question 8. Which English rugby union club side play at Welford Road? Is it Saracens or Leicester Tigers? So which English rugby union club side play at Welford Road? Is it Saracens or Leicester Tigers? Question 9. Charlie Hull is a successful British sportswoman most closely associated with which sport? Is it hockey, swimming or golf? So Charlie Hull is a successful British sportswoman most closely associated with which sport? Hockey, swimming or golf? Question 10. The Toon Army are supporters of which English football club? The Toon Army are supporters of which English football club? Question 11. In which sport might you see an alley-oop and a full court press? So in which sport might you see an alley-oop and a full court press? And the last question of the sport round, which member of the British royal family won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award in 2006? So which member of the British royal family won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award in 2006? So just back to question 1. Why was 3 years ago today a significant moment in Huddersfield Town's history? 2. In cricket, how many runs are scored in a maiden over? 3. It was announced this week that football will return in England, but on which exact date will the Premier League restart again following the coronavirus? Question 4. Which was the first race course equipped with a photo finish camera? Was it Aintree, Ascot or Epsom? 5. Which British rider won his 3rd Tour de France title in 2016? Question 6. Phil the Power Taylor has had a long-standing darts rivalry with which Dutch player known as Barney? Question 7. How many innings is in a full baseball game? Question 8. Which English rugby union club side play at Welford Road? Is it Saracens or Leicester Tigers? Question 9. Charlie Hull is a successful British sportswoman most closely associated with which sport? Was it hockey, swimming or golf? Question 10. The Toon Army are supporters of which English football club? 11. In which sport might you see an alley-oop and a full court press? Question 12. Which member of the British royal family won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award in 2006? So let's go for answers. Right then. Answers to the final round. It is out of 12. Just wait to see if anyone wants to repeat it, but I wouldn't have thought so. Okay, answers. Question 1. Why was 3 years ago today a significant moment in Huddersfield Town history? That was the day 3 years ago that they got promoted to the Premier League. Question 2. I had one of the first team lads give me a quick message on this question. In cricket, how many runs are scored in a maiden over? A slightly trick question there. Technically, runs could be scored, such as a wide, but the answer I was looking for is 0. No runs are scored off the bat in a maiden over. So 0 is the answer. Question 3. It was announced this week that football will return in England, but on which exact date will the Premier League restart after coronavirus? It is June the 17th. Question 4. Which was the first racecourse equipped with a photo finish camera? The answer was C, Epsom. Question 5. Which British rider won his 3rd Tour de France title in 2016? Chris Froome. Question 6. Phil the Power Taylor had a long-standing darts rivalry with which Dutch player known as Barney? The answer was Raymond van Barneveld. Yeah, of course it wouldn't be a maiden if it was a wide. You're right, Jason. Sorry, I should know that, shouldn't I? Being a cricketer. I've never been one for knowing the rules very well. 9. Charlie Hull is a successful British sportswoman most closely associated with golf. C. The Toon Army are supporters of which football club? Newcastle United. In which sport might you see an alley-oop and a full court press? Basketball. Yeah, my mate Tom Ravenell's text me. A wide can't be bowled in a maiden over, you fool. A wide goes against a bowler. I should know. If you don't know what a wide is where you bowl and the ball is too far out of reach for the batsman. Tom Ravenell once bowled 19 in a row. That's not a lie. It did happen. 19 wides in a row. It got to the point where everyone started feeling sorry for him and he was being encouraged to bowl underarm. And Richard Wagstaff says, I've never bowled a maiden over and that's why. Maybe so. Where were we? Number 12. Which member of the British royal family won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year show in 2006? Back then in 2006, it was Zara Phillips. It's now Zara Tindall. She got married to Mike Tindall, the ex-rugby union player, England player. So Zara Phillips, you'd get the mark, or Zara Tindall. You can also have the mark as well. So scores out of 12, please. Sorry, did I miss 7A? My bad. What was I doing? Question 7. How many innings in a full baseball game? 9. Apologies. Answer's 9 innings. And the question 8. Which England rugby union side play at Welford Road? It is Leicester Tigers. Apologies. So yeah, question 7 was, the answer was 9 innings in baseball, and it was Leicester Tigers who play at Welford Road. Answers out of 12. In a second we shall go. I'll put the numbers on the screen for you to be aware of. But let's try and crown a winner so far. So, Joanne Powell, 57. There's the first highest score so far. 57. Leo Corley also got 57. Anyone higher than 57? There we go this week. Serena, the answer to 11 was basketball. Professor Quizwitty, Janet Clapham 58. Strong score from you guys again this week. David Wagstaff, Jason Boyd backwards 57. Phil Warrender 49. So we've still got Penny Woodhead with 60 as the highest score. 53 out of 65, stumped Corfu from Lucy. 59 for Ian Edwards, Quiz Kamara. 59 for middle leg, Mark Tink Taylor. Good effort. 57 for Tony, 54 for Caroline. Team Wagstaff backwards 59, Dan Maud 52. Ooh, Amy Handley coming in late on YouTube. Steve, Amy and Sol 61 out of 65. Looks like you could be the winners. Well done. Any others coming in? I'll give it another 10 seconds. Tony Robury's tribute team, 55 for Matthew Chilton. Alex Kemp, the receding hairline, 55. I think we are going to congratulate Amy Handley, Steve, Amy Sol, 61. Very good. Right, what I need to do now is quickly log on to load up the numbers. So what I'll do is just put the Be Right Back screen on. I'll load up the numbers, and in fact, I don't have to actually, I'm fine. I'll just load up the numbers now for you, so bear with me a second. Thongsbridge Cricket Club. So these are going to be your numbers for the 100 Club. Let's have a quick look. Bear with me a second. Okay, what I'm going to do is just put it on here, and here will be the numbers. Hopefully you'll be able to see these in a second. Okay, so let me know. That's as big as I can pretty much get it. So that's as zoomed in as I can get it. So I'll leave those on the screen for you. Apologies if it looks quite small. So there we go. What I'll do is I'll zoom in as much. Is it going to let me go in anymore? There it is. Okay, so that's zoomed in a bit more for you. So I'll just leave that on the screen for 2 minutes, and I'll scroll down in a second. So have a look out for your number. I also need to look out for my number. Where am I at? Richard, what number have you given me? 45, decent. Who else have we got? Jocelyn Lodge with the number 100. Number 1, Ben Hurst. Tony Robury, 117. I'll just scroll down a bit and leave it there. Gavin McLeod, 125 with the last number bought. So I'll just leave it on for another 30 seconds or so for you to find your numbers. I'll just scroll up again if anyone has missed their name at the top, possibly. So I'm just looking at the YouTube page, and Janet Clapham's come in with a score of 62. The honest Dominic Cummings. Very good. So it looks like Janet could have pipped pick them to the post with the highest score. Right, I think that should be long enough for you to have a look at. I'm conscious of time. So like I said before, I was going to use Andrew Wagstaff's ball machine. That's not the number, don't worry. So we've got 125 numbers there, just to prove that all the numbers are in. And what this will do is randomly generate a set number. And it will give us also a chance to draw out 2 numbers. So I'm just going to press set. That's not the number, don't worry. There we go, back to 0. So have a look out for your number. I'm just going to get a cheesy sound effect ready for the £100 winner. Right then. Are you ready? Let's get the show on the road. So I'm just going to wiggle this from side to side. It's like one of those machines that you get in the arcades. I'm imagining that you're doing a really dramatic drum roll right now, slapping your thighs. We're going down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down she goes. And the number is 75. So 75, I can't remember who it is. Let's have a quick look. Number 75 is Kieran Buckley. Congratulations, Kieran. You've won yourself 100 quid. Well done. Right then, sound effect off. Let's go for a second number. So Kieran Buckley, £100 is coming your way. Well done. Thank you so much for buying a ticket. And because we reached 125 numbers, the second prize is going to be £25. She's going to be dropping in a second in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down it goes. The second prize is 84. So 84, who are you? Let's have a look. Congratulations. Number 84 is Philip Warrender, the best leg spinner in the club. Philip the Whiz Warrender, 25 quid. He's coming your way. Thanks for coming. Thanks for buying a ticket. Same next week. Really well done to you guys. So let's go back onto the PowerPoint, the screen rather. There we go. So yeah, massive well done to Kieran. £100 coming your way. It looks like drinks all around on Longlands Bank once lockdown's over. And Phil Warrender, well done on winning £25. Those numbers will stay the same for next week and then in the remaining 3 weeks after that. So massive well done to you. Thank you so much for joining this week. I hope you've enjoyed it again. Congratulations to, I think Janet was joking. So congratulations to Amy, Steve and Sol. You are this week's winners with 61 out of 65, a really good score. Kieran and Phil, the club will be in touch with you with regards to getting the money to you this week. But yeah, massive thank you to everyone who's bought a ticket. You've still got a chance in the next 4 weeks. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the fantastic weather that we're due to have. Look forward to hopefully seeing some friends and family from Monday in a nice, safe way. And I'll see you same time next week, next Friday, 8